السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. We praise Allah, the King, the Master, the Sustainer, the Creator of the seven heavens and earth. And we send peace and blessings upon Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The biggest gift Allah can give anyone is Islam. If you want to know how much Allah loves someone, you know if they have Islam. It's not by dunya, it's if Allah gives them Islam. That's the biggest sign Allah wants to show you mercy. But unfortunately today, we don't know exactly what Islam is. Unfortunately today, a lot of us think Islam is just the 5 pillars. You know, believe in Allah, I pray, I give sadaqah, fast, and go to Hajj if I can. This is not Islam. These are only the pillars. This is not Islam. If you came to a constructor and then you gave him 5 pillars, what is he going to do with that? That you can't build anything with that. That's just what Islam is based on. But Islam is more than that. Okay? Islam is a whole part of our life. So Islam has many aspects. But one of the most, if not the most important aspect after the 5 pillars is manners. Manners are so important in our religion. When you think about Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what is the first thing that stands out to you? I mean, of course, you know, he prays Allah, you know, he's very righteous, all these things. But the first thing that stands out to me when I think about Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is his manners. His manners are amazing. You know, he had such amazing manners, and this is why do you think Allah loved him the most out of anyone? Manners are crucial in our religion. Manners are super important, and it's because our religion is not just about how you worship Allah. You know, wallahi, you could be the first row in the prayer and you're here all the time and you're praying and mashallah and fajr and all of that. But how do you treat others? It's not just about how you worship Allah. How do you treat others? Because that is the creation of Allah. And Allah wants to see how you treat others. So manners is incredibly important in our religion. You know, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, who is the most beloved to you? Someone asked Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who's the most beloved to you, Rasul? Imagine. Who does Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam love the most? What did he say? He said the one with the best manners. He didn't say the most righteous. He didn't say, you know, the one who prays the most, the one who has the most Quran memorized. He said the one with the best manners. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked, who will be closest to you on the day of judgment? And he sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the one with the best manners. So for those of you who are smart and you're striving to reach Jannat al-Firdaus al-A'la, you know this is what you want, this is what you strive for. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is telling you how. Because you will be closest to him on the day of resurrection. and it's the one with the best manners. So imagine, it's so wholesome, and even Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he would prefer you to be super close to him on the Day of Judgment over anyone else. He prefers the one with good manners. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, nothing is heavier upon the scale of a believer on the Day of Resurrection than his good character. There's so many acts of worship in our religion. So many. Now imagine the heaviest thing on the Day of Judgment is good manners. How you treat others. How you treat others. It's not just about how you worship Allah directly. It's about how you treat other people. Imagine the heaviest. There was another hadith that said the heaviest thing on the Day of Resurrection is La ilaha illallah, the kalima. But this hadith says it's manners. So imagine, like La ilaha illallah in manners, like to put it like, they're both so heavy on the scale. It shows you the importance of it. We're not just Muslims when we come to the masjid and we just pray. That's not how it is. You're a Muslim 24/7, and it's how you carry yourself out and how you treat others. Not only having manners is incredibly important, but if you have bad manners, wallahi, there is a severe punishment. There is a punishment. There's so many people who do all their 5 prayers, and they give their zakat, and they do all this, but how do they treat their family? How do they do this? There is a severe punishment on the Day of Judgment. Ibn Umar reported, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, verily bad character spoils deeds just as vinegar spoils honey. Imagine you spend all your life, you spend so much of your time worshiping Allah, trying to please Allah, doing all of these things, and it gets ruined on the Day of Resurrection just because you couldn't control your anger, just because you didn't treat people right, just because you backbited, just because you didn't respect your parents. Imagine that. Imagine all of your deeds goes to waste, spoiled, just like vinegar spoils honey. Imagine that. Abu Hurairah narrated that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, do you know who the bankrupt one is? They said, O Messenger of Allah, the bankrupt among us is the one who has no dirham or no property. The Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the bankrupt in my ummah is the one who comes with salah and fasting and zakat on the Day of Judgment. But he comes having abused this one, falsely accused that one, wrongfully consumed the wealth of this one, spilling the blood of that one, and beating this one. So he is seated, and this one is requited from his rewards. If his rewards are exhausted before the sins that he committed are requited, then some of their sins will be taken and cast upon him. Then he will be cast into the fire. Imagine this, my brothers and sisters. Imagine you come on that day and you fasted all of Ramadan. And you prayed Allah, and wallahi, you woke up for tahajjud, and you gave a bunch of you did your zakat, you did all of that, you went to Hajj, mashallah. Imagine on that day, Allah makes it like it's nothing. All your deeds went to waste. Because you couldn't control yourself around people, you couldn't control yourself in front of the creation of Allah. This is a punishment. Imagine. And I'll give you an analogy of this dunya. Imagine one of you, mashallah, he made $1 million. He's a millionaire, mashallah. Imagine, and you put all your money in a bank account, for example. You put all your money in a bank account. And then after some time, say the bank account gets robbed, all the money gets stolen. Think about right now, if that was you, how would you feel? How would you feel? Imagine, because so much of us are people of dunya, imagine $1 million, all of it is gone because the bank got robbed. How would you feel? You would remember it for the rest of your life. Even when you're 80 years old, you'll remember how much money you lost. Imagine. Now imagine on the Day of Resurrection, when you come with all of these good deeds, and it's all lost, because you could not control yourself in front of other people. Imagine that. And deeds are way more valuable than any money. Even if it's $1 billion, $1 trillion, and you lose it all, deeds are way more valuable, because this is our salvation. So do not let your deeds go to waste. Do not let your deeds go to waste. Do not let your deeds go to waste. Make sure you always carry yourself out in a proper way. Especially in front of your family, especially in front of, especially the ones closest to you. Make sure you carry yourself in a proper way. Do not abuse others. Do not cause oppression. Do not cause oppression. Allah will and is able to take away your deeds. Make it like it's nothing. Imagine. And for those who strive to have Firdaus al-A'la, to have that highest level, Rasulullah said, the one closest to me is the one who has the best manners. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم. بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. How do we know if you have good manners and what makes up good manners? First of all, good manners is all about how you treat others. It's all about how you treat the creation of Allah. Okay? Worshipping is a huge aspect. Worshipping Allah is a huge part of our religion, of course. But also another huge part is how you treat the creation of Allah. But what truly shows your good manners, is how you treat your family. It's not about how you treat people at the masjid. Oh, Assalamu alaikum, brother, how are you? MashaAllah, you look great today, MashaAllah, inshallah. Go iftar and we're going to hang out with this. Bro, it's so easy to treat others well at the masjid. So easy to treat others well, with secondary relationships. But how do you treat your family? How do you treat your mom? How do you treat your dad? How do you treat your siblings? How do you treat your wife if you're married? How do you treat those people? This is how you know if you have good manners. Don't think because you treat people well at the masjid and then you go home and you're screaming at your mom, that means you have good manners. No, you actually have horrible manners. You actually have the worst of manners. Because it's about how you treat your family, because those are the ones that are closest to you. Especially your mother. For those of you who still have your mother, this is the easiest gateway to Jannah. Easiest gateway. Rasulullah said, "Thumma ummak, thumma ummak, thumma ummak." This is the easiest way, and she is the most deserving of your good manners. Your parents in general, they are the most deserving of your good manners. Allah says in the Quran, وَقَضَى رَبُّكَ أَلَّا تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا إِيَّاهُ وَالْبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا. Imagine, the biggest command there could ever be in our religion is to worship only Allah. What does Allah say right after that? Worship Allah and pray, worship Allah and do this. Allah says worship Allah, and to parents, good treatment. Imagine the biggest commandment right next to it is what? Is how you treat your parents. This is what makes up good manners. This is a huge part of religion. Do not let your deeds go to waste. And the translation is, and if they reach an old age, do not even say oof. And even the word ihsana, like, you know what ihsana means? It's like the best. It's like you do your best. It's not just, treat them well, treat them fine. Ihsana is like excellence, like treat them the best you can. And anything less than the best you can is deficient. And only say good words to anyone. We talk about parents, but also in general, only say good words to anyone. Because Rasulullah ﷺ said, whoever of you believes in the last day, he's talking to all of you. Whoever believes in the last day, speak good or stay silent. Don't talk. If you have nothing good to say, do not talk. Because every little thing you say, wallahi, there's angels right here, and they're writing everything down you say. Do not let your deeds go to waste. Rasulullah said, the most beloved people in the sight of Allah are those who benefit others the most. He also said, the best of deeds that are loved by Allah is to create happiness in the heart of a fellow believer. Now imagine, he didn't say, the best of deeds is tahajjud. The best of deeds, is worshiping Allah day and night. The best of deeds is worshiping Allah like you see Him. The best of deeds is with your manners. It's how you treat others. Imagine, this is what Allah loves the most. Because this is Allah's creation. Allah created this person. He wants to treat you. You need to treat them good. Disbeliever or believer, doesn't matter. Treat them well. Because this is a creation of Allah. This is the most beloved ibadahs to Allah. Now, wallahi, you can be beneficial and bring happiness to believers in many ways. But one of the most noble ways is to give sadaqah. Give sadaqah. Allah says in the Quran, the example of those who spend in the way of Allah is just like a grain that produces 7 ears, each ear having 100 grains. And Allah multiplies the reward for whom He wills. Allah is all-embracing, all-knowing. Allah says in the Quran, who is it that would loan Allah a goodly loan so He may multiply it for him many times over? And it is Allah who withholds and grants abundance, and to Him you will be returned. Rasulullah said that Allah said in Hadith Qudsi, O son of Adam, spend and I shall spend on you. Imagine. These are the things Allah is saying He will give you the money. If your worry is that you're not going to have enough money, Allah is saying He will pay you back. Not just pay you back, He will give you more. He will give you more. Only look at the blessings that you get from feeding the poor, helping needy people. Not only you get hasanat, but you get your money back, but not only that, Allah raises you. Allah gives you more money. And we don't give sadaqah so we can get more money. That's not the reason why we give sadaqah. But if what's stopping you is that you're scared, you feel like it's scared, oh, I don't want to lose money. Allah's saying He will give you more. Like what is wrong with us? Allah is saying He will give you more. Imagine there was some investment company and you get 100% of your money back and more. All of us would trust it. All of us would invest in it. All of us. But when Allah, the King of Kings, says He's going to give you the money back, you don't believe Him? He says He's going to multiply it, you don't believe Him? He's the King of Kings. He is more trustworthy than whatever investment company you believe in. He's saying He will give you the money back. So do not fear that. Fearing poverty comes from shaitan. Fearing poverty comes from a shaitan. Do not believe that. Allah is saying, I will give you. I will give you. وَمَنْ يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا وَيَرْزُقْهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبُ وَمَنْ يَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ فَهُوَ حَسْبُهُ. Fear Allah, trust in Allah, and He will give you. What is this sickness in our heart when Allah says He will give you what you gave and even more, but we're like, no, we don't believe in Allah. What is this sickness in our heart? Wallahi, some of us, the adults really, some of us probably have tens of thousands, 100,000s in our bank account, and we're saving and saving and saving. What are you doing with all this money? But wallahi, if you were smart, you would give so much of it away, so you can get the pleasure of Allah. And not only that, you don't fear poverty, because Allah is saying He will give it back to you. So feed the poor, This is such a noble way of having good manners, because you're helping others out. You're helping others out. Imagine if you were in their position. Imagine. Look, the other day I saw something like some Saudi, he has like this live TV, and he gets questions, right? And some Somali guy asked him a question. He said, is our siyam accepted if we don't have any iftar or suhoor? And he just started crying on live television. Imagine, there are people who don't have iftar suhoor, they're fasting. Literally, it's like they're fasting the whole month and they don't break it. Imagine if you're in that position, you would be waiting for someone to help you out. You would be waiting for someone to help you out. And wallahi, Ramadan is the best time to do this. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you've heard this hadith many times, he was the most generous in Ramadan. Not in Laylatul Qadr, not in the last 10 nights, not in the first couple days, in Ramadan. He was the most generous. So this is the best time to work on your manners. And I'll end with this. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, O people, exchange greetings of peace, feed people, strengthen the ties of kinship, and be in prayer when others are asleep, and you will enter Jannah in peace. Look how simple our religion is. Worship Allah and treat others well. That's all. So make sure, inshallah, this month, and all the time, of course, but especially this month, work on your manners, especially to those close to you. And remember that good manners is really seen when you're in front of your family. Ask Allah to allow us to have good manners. Ask Allah to help us, strive in giving more sadaqah. Ask Allah to let us trust Him. And when He says He'll give us what we gave back and more, that we trust Him and we do that. Ask Allah to help those who are in poverty. Ask Allah to help those who are starving. Ask Allah to forgive us and guide us. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
استقيموا شافي صلاتكم يرحمكم الله. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. والضحى والليل إذا سجى ما ودعك ربك وما قلى وللآخرة خير لك من الأولى ولسوف يعطيك ربك فترضى ألم يجدك يتيما فآوى ووجدك ضالا فهدى ووجدك عائلا فأغنى فأما اليتيم فلا تقهر وأما السائل فلا تنهر وأما بنعمة ربك فحدث. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. أرأيت الذي يكذب بالدين فذلك الذي يدعو اليتيم ولا يحض على طعام المسكين فويل للمصلين الذين هم عن صلاتهم ساهون الذين هم يراءون ويمنعون الماعون. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.